Welcome back, Pero Comma Podcast family. My name is Colette. That is Elizabeth. I'm gonna learn this.
You
That is
did. You
Elizabeth.
had it. You had it for a while there. I've never gotten it. So
And we're just gonna do book talk.
we're just going to talk
Not
about
the book talk that's on TikTok, but just talk about books in
basically,
general
we're inviting you guys to
into
one
our
of our
inner
regular
musings,
conversations.
pretty much. So if you're interested to listen to us ramble, um, join us. So we were talking about Octavia E. Butler, who was born in 1947, and she wrote Parable of the Sower. I don't know if you guys remember. I read that book. I told you it messed my head up. And she had did an interview once and said something to the effects of, if you look at human history, you can tell the future. And I was telling Liz, like, the book that she wrote started in 2024. And I'm like, she wasn't that far off from where we are in society. She has passed away. And I'm like, did they take you out, sis? Because I felt like you knew too much.
You never know. Don't get me started. Get me started.
I'm just saying. I was like, she knew a lot. How they had our information. There were fires all over the place. They were selling off the country bit by bit. They had this guy come in. His last name was Donor for the president. He was president elect in 2024. Right. His last name was Donor. I remember that. That stood out to me. And he was never in politics. He was a business person.
Did she write The Simpsons?
I'm telling you, there were so many similarities. I was like, and honestly, I would recommend reading her books. I'm gonna finish that series. I haven't finished it, but again, I haven't finished it not because it's not good. It's just it really messed my head up with the similarities of what we're going through now, and I'm just like, I don't know, girl. I don't know if I want to know
Crazy.
the future.
So let's that book, I have it here.
Hmm.
It says, when global climate change and economic crisis lead to social chaos in the early 2020s, California becomes full of dangers.
And she talks about all the fires happening in California during that time. What have we been going through in California right now?
From pervasive water shortage to masses of vagabonds who will do anything to live to see another day.
Hmm.
15-year-old Lauren Olamina lives inside a gated community with her preacher father, family, and neighbors, sheltered from the surrounding anarchy. In a society where any vulnerability is a risk, she suffers from hyper empathy and debilitating sensitivity to others' emotions. Precautious and clear eyed, Lauren must make her voice heard in order to protect her loved ones from the imminent disasters her small community stubbornly ignores. But what begins as a fight for survival soon leads to something much more: the birth of a new faith and a startling vision of human destiny.
Yeah, she starts a cult. That's the way I see it, because she was talking about the Bible and what she believes and what she doesn't believe, and how she thinks certain things should be a certain way. And she said her thing is she thinks God has changed, and she thinks that's the reason why we're stagnant. She was like, you keep saying that God is this way, but God changes all the time. Which, when I think about it, logically, when I think about it, growing up in a Christian household, you were always taught God is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking all the time, like, no, God has changed his mind multiple times in the Bible. So she's not far off either. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would highly recommend you reading that book so y'all can be messed up with me.
I wonder if it's on Audible Plus.
Yes, it is. It's free.
Ooh.
Both books.
Wow. Oh, so it's a duology?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
I
What's the
just finished, I just finished reading Onyx Storm.
thoughts?
Took me a whole month to read that biznatch.
It
I
is the third book in a 5-book series, y'all.
Yeah, I didn't know that that was a thing
Yeah.
until you told me that, and then all of a sudden, because our phones listen to us, I started getting Instagram reels and TikToks about people saying the same thing, and I
Yeah.
was like, okay, um, I think it started off all right,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was all right in the middle, and then it got good.
Yeah.
I'm still mad that I don't know what the hell Violet is, and that I'm left to my own devices. Like, is she really their sister? Is she a baby, like a lost princess? Maybe I've read too many books,
Yeah.
but what is she? All
I
she's
know.
wanted to know this whole book is
I know. And I
why
feel
do
like they
these
didn't,
people.
to me, I feel like she didn't address it enough.
Exactly. So maybe one book is going to be all of that. Um, but I'm mad that I have to wait like 2 years for another book.
Mm-hmm.
I barely remembered everything I needed to remember
It
for
was
this
so bad
book.
as she picked up right where she left off. And we was like, wait, who are these people?
It's because they introduced the riot,
Yeah.
in the other book, and we kind of how you did with the 13 in the
Mm-hmm.
Throne of Glass series. I didn't pay attention to all of their names.
You know what pissed me off? I think that's another reason why I went off of SJM for a little bit is because when they introduced the 13, I was like, I don't care. And then when I got to the next book, I was like, God dang it, they were such an integral part. Now I got to go back and read their part of the story. I was so mad. And Liz told me to. And I was like, Liz, do I have to read this? If I go, Liz was like, no, Colette, you need to read it. It plays a part in the book. And I'm like,
Yeah, no, even Manon, like
I remember skipping Manon's part, and I remember skipping Elodie's part. And then I got to the
they're
next book. I'm
both
like,
super
who are these
important.
people? And why are you still in the book? And then I had to go back and reread the book. So
They're
that was my
both
fault.
super important people. Um, Manon, depending on my mood, she's my number one from the series. It goes back and forth between her and Aelin.
Hmm.
No, I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
especially you, little Miss Dorian fan club
Dorian is
president.
always going to be my number one. He ain't even a main character. He
He
is the
died.
love of my life.
Not that he dies. He's human. He's gonna die.
So am I. So we can live our human lives together. Thank you very much. When I find the way to get into that realm, Manon who? Manon who?
You're trying
I
to
will
kill me.
say, I, I will say though, I like the way she made them flirt in the book. I wasn't expecting it.
Oh, girl, you haven't
When he
even
realized
read
he had,
anything yet.
I know, but what I'm saying is when we realized he had the Valg in him and he had the crown on or whatever, and he meets the 13 for the first time and Manana's there and he's like, ooh, who is that? Hey girl. And he was just flirting. I said, Dorian, I have never seen like he was a puppy with Aelin. He saw Manon and was like, hey girl, what's
Yeah.
up? I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
you gotta keep
do you remember?
reading.
Because I texted you, I was like, I don't know how I feel, but I like it.
You gotta keep reading. She's gonna finish, guys. She's
Yeah.
gonna finish because we're supposed to talk about all the SJM books. I think I'm going to do Kingdom of Ash with her when she gets there. It will be my third time.
I'm in the middle of the what do you call it? The tandem read. So it's not like I'm not almost
I
done.
hate that she did that way because Kale was my least favorite.
Hate him.
I just, anytime he opened his mouth
I am Black
after
Harry
this,
Potter.
during the end of the second book and any book after that,
I
I
didn't
just
like
wanted
him
to
in the
throat
second
punch
book.
him.
I was upset. I remember she lost her V card to him, and I was like, ugh, there was
Of
no one
all
else.
people, you didn't want to say,
I
oh,
was
I
like,
lost
you
it to the prince?
Sam's sitting over here like a little retriever just waiting on you. You didn't
Okay.
even tell him you love him.
No, I know. Sam has his following. There's a lot of people out there that it's Sam Cortland for
And
life.
I've told Liz, I was like, I need a novella where there's an alternate universe where Ellen and Sam end up together. I
I
love
don't
Rowan.
want that.
I love Rowan. But it's not even that though. I just want him to live. Live,
Live
Manon.
in them what, Colette? Live in them what? Watch her be with Rowan because that's her fated person?
No, that's why it's an alternate universe. Why do you keep doing this?
Because there is no universe where it's not Aelin and Rowan.
Listen, Sam is gonna live. Okay.
No.
God, that broke my heart. I cried.
His, yeah, I did too. But
I
his death
cried.
played such a role into who she
Who she
is.
became. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw this TikTok where it was Chaos like, Aelin will never go to Skulls Bay. What?
Like
What are
she
you
won't
talking
she?
about? She walks into Skulls Bay like it's hers.
Like, what do you mean?
I love Rolf. He is one of my favorite characters from the book because he's just so funny.
I just remember him. Well, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm at the part where Kaol and what's her name is still beefing at this point. They haven't started their romance because I know they get together. Kaol and what's her name? Irene. That part of his book. And then in the other book, Town of Empire of Stores, Town of whatever. In the other book, she's just at the part where they're making the plan and they're on separate ships, I think. Yeah. So that's where I'm at in that part. So I was like, it's not that it wasn't getting good, y'all. I was SJM'd out, but I'm gonna pick it back up because honestly, I started with, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into that because again, we're gonna talk about the SJM books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say it again in the next video, that if they were to be made into movies, I want
Series.
either the people who did Game of Thrones or the people who did Lord of the Rings to do Throne of Glass. And we'll keep that conversation for the other video, but that's where I stand.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I don't want fluffy.
Yes.
I want it all. I want the gore.
All of it, yes, because there is a lot of gore. Even the way that Sam died, like it was very descriptive. I was like, "Oh my God, Sam!" My heart, my heart. But yeah, yeah. And then there's also a lot of chatter about Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyi.
I asked you about that.
Yes. I cannot pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry, ma'am. I don't even want to attempt it because I know I'm going to butcher it. I do apologize, but it's on the screen. I read the book. I love the book. I DNF the second book. It's a hard DNF. I ain't going back.
Okay.
But
I want to read it because they're making it into a movie or they already did.
They're making it into a movie. So Damson Idris, that's my other boo, you know. He is the brother of the main character. Is Zelie the main character or is that the sister? I think Zillie's the sister. Anyway, here's the thing. Amandla Stenberg.
He's such a cutie. Yes, from Snowfall.
Yes, she was cast as the sister for Damson Idris. And they were up in arms about it, about the casting, because they were like, well, number one, they felt like they didn't have any Nigerian-born actors. And they have this thing called Bollywood in Nigeria where they have, you know, their own Nigerian actors. They have their movies, their production companies, all of that. And they were like, well, you could have found somebody that's Nigerian-born to portray one of these characters. But Damson Idris, he is first generation European. Like his parents are both Nigerian. And then I think you have other people, like Cynthia Erivo, that just did.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, she's also Nigerian born or first generation, I think, first gen. So again, I'm not gonna bash anyone because I'm not Nigerian. Don't come over here for me. I understand what they're saying, but I also feel like you also kind of want to get the big names to draw the crowds. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, but Amandla Stenberg, I didn't feel like that was good casting. I love her. But in the book, it talks about how the princess was a dark-skinned girl. They even the even to the point where her dad and her mom was embarrassed by her being so dark, and the mom tried to get her to bleach her skin. The brother was light skinned. It was a whole thing. So I feel like that's where a lot of people are getting mad because they're like, why would you cast her? Are you not going to put that in the story? Because that was a huge contention in the book.
Did you know Kimbo Slice is in the movie?
Is he? You know he's from Miami. You know he's Jamaican.
It says here Bahamian.
Is he Bahamian? Well, Jamaica first. Don't come for me, y'all. Just like we were talking about Rihanna, there was this thing in the Caribbean internet side of the world where we was pissing off all the Bajans because we kept saying Rihanna was Jamaican. I was like, yeah, she's Jamaican. That's why she's so great. Get out of here. But yeah, they did the casting for that. Again, I enjoyed it. The first book at least. The second book, I couldn't figure out where she was going. Or maybe I just didn't like the direction of where she was going. It was, I don't know. And I don't want to spoil it because if they're going to do it, then
Oh, I see. She is light skinned, the sister.
huh?
So is this okay.
So
Well,
Amandla, yeah, she's playing a princess, which is a major part.
she's
And then
gorgeous.
Damson Idris is her brother, and he's a major part. And they go on a journey with the main character. So it's it's four of them because her brother comes with her as well. The main character and her brother go on a journey with the princess, and then the prince is tracking them because the whole thing is they used to have magic and now they say magic is bad. Well, she knows magic and she wants to get magic restored. So she's on a journey to get magic restored because if they found out that she knew how to do magic, they would kill her.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. And I don't know. Great premise. Love the first book. You read it.
You know what book did that to me? Divine Rivals. Like I have not finished
It
the
was a
second book.
strong start for the first book.
Yes. I think I only got like 2 chapters into the second book and I was like, nah.
Yeah,
And I really enjoyed the first book.
I
I
did. I give it
thought,
4 stars.
yeah, I thought it was good. It was a true YA.
It was
Um,
wholesome. I loved it.
yeah, no, that's I I don't even know. It was I like the way I like the typewriter part of it.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like a lot of action that happened in the book,
hmm
but I really enjoyed it. But the second one, I just didn't capture me.
Yeah. And I feel like I feel like they never expounded on the gods. What were their purpose? And then the way it ended too, I was like, that was way too easy. Way too easy.
I think they did that in hopes of like us picking up the second book and devouring it, but that's not what happened to me.
Yeah.
Usually when they leave a cliffhanger like that, or like
Yeah. Yeah.
the ending was underwhelming.
Yeah.
Kind of like Joffrey's death.
Please don't get me started on Joffrey's death, child.
I haven't even read the books. Is that how they do it in the books?
Yeah, it was trash. He needed and Jamaica would say, well, then he needed a wicked death.
Yeah, no.
Just even the way his mama died at the end of the series, I was like, no, why didn't he hang her from the walls? Annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now I got all mad all over again. Because why is Jamie going down to the basement to die with her when he
Because
had
in the
this?
thing he had said if he had his way, he would die in the arms of the woman that he loved. And I was like, gosh, could you not love her?
Ugh. Like,
And
it's all your fault.
I hated the way that Brienne begged him to stay and he didn't stay. That bothered my spirit. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do an S.A. Crosby book. this month.
That is fantastic. Do
I
you
think
guys
that's
do
going to be
know
my next read. Is an
S.A.
essay.
Cosby? He does have some books. Did you find him on Audible Plus? He did have some free books on there. But the book I want to read is Razor Blade Tears. I hear nothing but good things about that book, so that's the book I want to read. I think I
Yeah, I
might even
heard
read it.
the same thing. Also, I have yet to read Abby Jimenez book. An Abby Jimenez book.
I have all her books
Me too.
sitting right over there looking at me.
Thanks to Book of the Month, which y'all, I get my Book of the Month this Friday. So excited because I got an add-on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we will be doing that soon. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But yeah, Abby Jimenez.
Yeah, Emily Henry never read a book, and then when I thought about it, I was like, I don't feel like she's the type of author I would gel with, knowing myself.
I have one of her books, and I think it's The People We Meet on Vacation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know the one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people read Beach Read. I have,
Beach
but
read, book lovers, people we meet on vacation.
hello.
Yeah.
I forgot to put my stuff on D&D, so I just got a call. Yeah, I really want you to finish Kingdom of Ash because I am yearning. I don't. Maybe that makes me a masochist because that book destroyed me.
You over here worried about reading Kingdom Ash. You have not finished.
I really need to paint my walls.
Crescent City 3. Yeah. Crescent City 3, boo.
No. I know. I actually have to. Maybe that's what I should just do is just finish that godforsaken book.
I was looking, I was like, where are my SJM books? They're up top. I'm like, where they at?
You just made my eyes started twitching. You're like, you gotta finish Crescent City 3. My eyes like, bleh.
Yeah, I want you to understand the frustration that I had. Which is why I was telling you I didn't think I wanted to vote again in a Goodreads choice of words, because I feel like if you have not marked that book as read, you should not be able to vote. I feel like people are just voting for popular books, and I'm like, no, that book should not have won.
Our Book of the Month finalists came out. Do we vote on that? I haven't gotten anything to vote, or we just picked.
I haven't gotten anything to vote either. I haven't gotten anything to vote. I do know we get to pick. I don't know.
One of the books, but I already have two of them, and I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between the. There's two other books that I'm like.
Yeah, two of the books that are on there I own already. Is it two? Hold on, y'all. Let me tell you what they are.
Yeah, mine is two. I own Phantasma and God of the Woods.
Okay, so the nominees for the book of year, book of the month are The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, which you have. Mm-hmm. Did you read that?
Not yet.
Okay. The Lion Women of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, which we did a video on, obviously. The Wedding People by Ellison Esbach, which I've heard a lot of good things about, actually.
Me too.
And then Kristen Hanna, The Women. She's won it twice, the Lolly Awards. Also, just doing a little reading because, that's what I do.
Why do they call it Lolly?
Because the first person to win back in 1926 when they started Book of the Month, her last name was Lolly. So ever since then, they coveted it and they call it the Lolly Awards. And I was like,
I love that.
I know. I was like, that is so cute. But yeah. Her name was Lolly Willows.
What book?
I don't know. It says, taking its name from our first ever Book of the Month selection in 1926, Lolly Willows. This award honors what is simply the most compelling book of the year. Let's go to Lolly Willows 1926. Let's see what we find. Lolly
Willows
1926.
Oh, it's the name of the book.
Oh. Maybe we should read
Molly
that book.
Willows by Sylvia Townsend Warner.
Maybe we should read it. Oh, it only has 3.7 stars. But, people are weird.
I mean, back in 1926.
I like this better. I didn't like the hardcover. This paperback looks prettier. It's only 118 pages. It says set in early 20th century England, Lolly Willows is a satirical comedy of manners and an early feminist classic. With deft storytelling and compelling prose, Sylvia Townsend Warner invites you into a world where convention meets enchantment, where the line between reality and the supernatural is blurred. Lolly Willows, a woman of quiet rebellion and hidden desires, dares to free herself from a suffocating web of familial and societal expectations. So as Lolly sheds her dutiful daughter and obedient sister skin, she finds solace and freedom in the quaint village of Great Mop with its chalk hills and beech woods. When her newfound contentment is threatened by the arrival of her nephew, she boldly embraces a dark path to secure an audacious and irrevocable freedom. Listen here. I bought it. It was $10.98 for the paperback. So I'm gonna read it to see. I mean, I do book of the month. I figured why not. Also, the first one was from 1926, so next year will be 100 years that they've been doing this.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Last year's winner for 2023 was well, not last year, but you know what I'm saying. Was Abby Jimenez, Yours Truly. In 2022, it was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin, which I own. In 2021, it was Kristen Hanna, The Four Winds. In 2020, it was The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I had that on my TBR. I don't know if I want to read it though. Oh, the year prior was Daisy Jones and the Six. You love that book.
I did. I really enjoyed it. It was a quick read because it was like set in interview format. I don't know
Yeah.
if that has a specific name. Sorry if I don't know it, guys. But then the show was another thing that I didn't even finish the show because it didn't. And I know a lot of people love the show. There's just certain
Yeah.
things that I'm like, why would you change that? I just don't like when they change things that make a character. For instance, I don't remember her name, but in Daisy Jones and the Six, the young lady who plays the keyboard in the band,
Mm-hmm.
she was very much like conservative with how she dressed because she's like, I want people to know me for my music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want my music to sell because of what I wear and how I look and all that. And they kind of made it more as to her being a feminist in the show, which I'm
Mm-hmm.
all for, whatever, you know. It's just like that made her personality to me in the book.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like really, or maybe I missed it because, you know, who knows. But yeah. And then the relationship with the lead singer and his wife
Mm-hmm.
or girl at the time, like just certain things that they in the book
Mm-hmm.
and then in the movie.
I own that
And
book. I still
so
haven't read it.
you'll read it. It's a fast read. It's a really fast read. But if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm. That's your go-to phrase. You need to make a shirt that says, "If I
if I
remember
remember
correctly."
correctly, in the book,
Mm-hmm.
his girl wanted to be a mom. Like she took so much joy in being a mom. And in the show, it wasn't like that. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Like,
Just like how he didn't want children in the perfect fine.
right. Right? He would have given all of that up for her. All of it up for her. They really made him seem like a little kid
Yes.
in the show, in
And
the
he was
movie.
not that.
No, he was like
He really was the knight in shining armor for her. Like he
he
fit the
became
bill.
an adult as soon
Yeah,
as he had to go live with his mom because
pretty
he
much.
had to. And in the book, she prides herself in that.
Hmm.
She prides herself in the neglect that she dealt him
Hmm.
because it made him a better person.
And
And
it's
in the
not even that
they didn't touch
he had to
that.
become an adult. It's like I feel like you had that background because you lived in the hood with your dad. And honestly, I felt like the way he told the story is if his dad hadn't died, his mother would have never took him in. She would have just continued living her life and visiting every couple of months.
And that bothered her, but it did bother her.
Yes.
And they didn't touch on that in the movie either.
Hmm.
Um I just, yeah, we already know that movie was a shitstorm
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah.
the book. Like, bleh.
So many things they could have addressed and they didn't.
Oh my god.
So 2016, Dark Matter was one of the finalists.
Yeah, we both have that.
2017, Little Fires Everywhere, which we enjoyed that series. That was one of the finalists. I don't know these books in 2018.
I really that book of the month is the only subscription box.
Silent Patient was 2019, was one of the finalists.
Oh, we read that for one of our book clubs.
Yeah. And we like that book.
Yes. That book, yeah. And there's some people who are like, I don't like it. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Invisible Life of Addie LeBrew was one of the finalists in 2020.
I still haven't finished that book.
I'm telling you, Doc, I had to put the book down. I couldn't get into it the first time I read it. I was like, this is stupid.
That's the thing. I didn't find it stupid.
It was just dragging. It wasn't stupid. It was dragging.
Yeah, I got to the part where she's at some guy's apartment.
Dang, we are so behind. We're so behind. I mean, I feel like you're never on time as a reader, but
Ever.
Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby was a finalist in 2021. So was The Lost Apothecary, which we did read.
Oh, I love that book too.
And People We Meet on Vacation. I think you have that book.
That is the one I have, People We Meet on Vacation. I have not read it.
Black Cake in 2022 was a finalist. And A Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood.
That's my lady. Ali.
Didn't you read None of This Is True? No?
No. By Lisa Jewell?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
But you read Wayward.
I haven't finished it.
Okay. Well, that was a finalist for 2023.
I actually have like maybe 15% left to finish. And not that it's bad. I just had to stop reading it to read something for our podcast. So I like put it to the side and I just haven't picked it up yet. Add it to my unfinished TBR. I really mean it, guys. There's books that I don't finish. Not because they're bad, but just because something happens or I have to.
Yep.
Yeah, like I have Joe Hill. I love Joe Hill.
Horns.
And if you guys don't know, he is Stephen King's son. I don't love him because of that. He is a great writer all on his own. Honestly, I didn't know that was his son until after I read Horns. So, but I have one of his books, The Fireman.
Fireman.
And I was enjoying it. It's a biggin. But I was enjoying it. And I still haven't finished it.
I get it.
It's not, if you ever hear me like, oh, I didn't finish the book, it's not that it's bad. It's just,
listen, we all know that Ali Hazelwood is our author. I have Not in Love sitting over there looking at me. I have Deep End over there sitting there looking at me.
I really enjoyed Not in Love.
I still haven't gotten to The Love Hypothesis and all the other. Girl,
I swear, if this is my phone taking a crap on me.
No, I see you and hear you.
Back. Y'all are about to see me rage. But yeah, Not in Love. I was kind of like, I read the trigger warnings. I never read trigger warnings, y'all. Like, I'm just like, I'm gonna jump in.
Yeah.
If I don't like it,
yeah.
I actually read hers, and the main female character
Oh,
Well,
look, God in the Woods, right behind you. I'm sorry, continue. Oh, look, Addie LaRue, right behind you. Squirrel!
ladies.
Squirrel! I'm so sorry. Please continue. The main.
No, you're good. um,
Wow, this is really our conversation.
I never knew that non-penetrative schmecks was a thing.
What do you mean?
Yeah. See, obviously you
No,
did.
what do you mean you didn't know it was a thing? What do you mean?
Like I didn't know people have relationships.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
actually had a friend like that.
Yeah. And
I
I
actually have a
and
friend who has children with the same person, and they are not together. They just know that they co-parent well. They know that they both don't want relationships, but they wanted kids, and that's what they do. And I
that's cool.
respect it. Yeah,
Yeah, I bet you those kids are,
yeah.
yeah. So this was my book that just opened my mind to that. And the way she wrote it was really cool.
So they don't
It would
have.
Yes, they do. They do. They
Oh,
do. But that was one of her things.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta read the book. Just gotta read the book.
That's intriguing. Like I don't think I've
Are you gonna
ever
read the
heard
book?
anyone address it. Like I've heard of it, but like
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Like I've heard people. Okay, I know that there's people who prefer certain things and
Mhm.
don't want certain. This is the first time I've ever seen it in a book.
Yeah.
And I know that Ali's been dabbling more in the smut stuff. So
Hmm.
when I read that, I was like, how's she gonna pull that off?
Yeah.
So, but I didn't know it was such a big thing, apparently,
Yeah.
because she does always write about things that, should be talked about.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. I'm
I
here for
do think Alana, which is my daughter, for
it.
those of you who don't know, she's one of my daughters. Um, and she's away in college right now, and she's a STEM student. So
Mm.
whenever I read Allie Hazelwood, I'm like,
Yeah,
and
remember I had to call her. I was like, "How you do this math equation?" I know she know.
Alana is a genius when it comes to that. She reminds me of my mom. They just love.
Yeah.
My mom was one of those people who loved learning.
Yeah.
Like she just loved learning, and Alana is one of those people.
Did
Like
I ever
she's
tell
constantly
you?
researching.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that is one of the things in college? Like I failed math twice, so I had to pay out of pocket. They would not cover it. On
They're
my,
like, look,
it's like, look, girl, you need to struggle with that on your own. We're not doing it.
you wasting all money. You failing is not in our budget.
Here's the thing: the first time I failed, though, I didn't even fail because I didn't understand the work and I didn't do the work. He taught it a certain way. I didn't get that, but I remembered it from high school. So I did it the
Oh,
way my high school teacher taught me. And he was like, no, you need to do it the way I taught you. What hell difference does it
no.
make?
Well, that's what, Common Core math for, I don't know where you guys are watching from, but in Florida, the schools did Common Core math.
Dude, what is
When
that?
these girls came to me, oh, mommy, I need help with math. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you just do this and you carry this number over here. And
Yeah.
they're like, that's not how we do it. They literally want them, if they don't map out the problem, the Common Core way, which is
Mhm.
crazy. Like, I don't even if they don't map it out right and get the right answer, it's still
Yeah.
wrong. That's wild to me. What does it matter how you got the answer as long as the answer is right?
I'm saying
I don't get it.
Common Core Math refers to a set of educational standards for mathematics that aims to provide students with a deeper understanding of math concepts by focusing on key skills, coherence between grade levels, and real world applications. First of all, ain't no such thing as real world applications for math. Let's start with that. That's a lie told to you by the devil. Okay? I have lived for almost 40 years on this planet, and you know what I didn't use? Trigonometry. I don't use that ever.
I
So
told
why am I learning it?
I told Alana, I
Foolishness.
was like, they're over here teaching kids algebra. Not everybody uses algebra. She's like, Ma, when you have to double a recipe for something,
That's called
and you
addition
got,
and subtraction.
she said, that's algebra. And I'm like,
No,
go over there with,
no, Alana, I'm gonna fight you to I will die on this hill. No, it's not. Okay,
I'll bring you snacks.
okay.
You won't
That
starve.
is addition and subtraction
Oh,
and
multiplication,
multiplication. Exactly. And I know my multiplications because Liz and I
Yep,
had this
we covered
conversation.
this. You
Liz and
got,
I had this conversation. In a
mm-hmm.
Caribbean household, if you don't know how to multiply, you are disgracing yourself, your family, and God.
And
Okay?
your ancestors, okay?
All of that. You
I
would
used
sit there. I used to be at the table. Say a 7-time table. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. And then they want to go out of order. 7 times 7. No, the next one is 7 times 3.
No, I had to do it like a whole production. My parents would literally sit on the couch, all proper like, and I would have to come down the hall and stand in front of them. 9 times 1 is 9. I don't know what it is. Why the
Y'all talk about the trauma
multiplication
that they
table?
have growing up. We had different types of trauma.
Scared a shoe was gonna fly my way if I got the wrong answer.
Like, you didn't even have a shoe on. Where did the shoe come from?
Whole
Shoe
broom just
magically
coming your
appeared.
way.
Oh my God.
Your ancestors come out of left field, just
I'm
bop you on
telling
the
you
side of the
guys.
head.
Yo. For
Oh
those of you that
man,
cannot
yeah.
relate, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, me too. Good job, parents.
Oh my God. But yeah. So yeah, you guys, that was just a little bit of our musings.
If there was any subject, everybody's like, what subject are you good at? Math.
I hated math. You know, but I'm pretty sure I hated math because of the tyranny that was bestowed on me. But I always passed math. I didn't have an issue with math.
You know
It was
what?
just,
I can't say anything because it wasn't math for Lulu, my oldest. Her name's Elisette, but when she was a baby, she looked like little Lulu, y'all. If you don't know, it's a cartoon from back in the day. Anyway, she's left-handed, right? Yeah. And I just remember people growing up that were left-handed had sloppy handwriting. Not saying everybody does, because there was this one dude. We went to private school together. Ray Lopez. R-E-I Lopez. He was left-handed. His writing pristine, but he was the only one that I ever knew like that.
yeah.
So when Lulu started writing, I would make her sit there and write her alphabet, her name, our address over and because you're not about to have messy handwriting. So I guess I did the same thing to her with the writing. So Lulu,
we fixate on.
I love you, Ma, and I am so sorry. Please
Lulu, call me if you need a support group, girl. Because I had atrocious handwriting. My sister had beautiful handwriting, and you know, in the Caribbean, why can't you write like this? They're very good at comparisons.
Oh my God, they give no F's about that. And you don't even know the person. Well, you know
Jesus turned water into wine. Why can't you turn water into wine? Because he's Jesus. Can you get off of me?
Yeah, like
just anyway. Like I remember growing up, if we joked about something, if we joked about something, they'll come over there with this most random shit, just like, you over here joking. I hope you carry cancer one day. Why can't I laugh?
They're so doom and gloom. Oh my God. I remember.
Mommy and Daddy, I love you. I'm not ragging on y'all. I look back at it now. I understand what they were trying to do. I get it.
Mine was the favorite. Elizabeth Maria. And I'm like, what? I'm not doing anything. That's the problem.
You're lazy. What do you mean you're sitting down relaxing? What is that? What is relaxation?
What do you want me to do? I already made the beds, cleaned the baseboards, prepped dinner for a whole year.
Oh my God. I love y'all so much. Shout
Yeah,
out to
me
the
too.
Caribbean people. You might be eligible for compensation.
Not from the American government, though.
Oh my God.
You better start
Yeah.
tapping into your
And
roots,
that's
your
a huge part of
ancestors.
why I read so much, in all honesty, because it was,
Oh.
what you gotta do? Go pick up a book. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up a book. Now I'm sitting here with this book. I might as well read it.
No, for me, it was like you were to be seen, not heard. Like,
Yep.
stay in your room. I didn't even
Yep.
have a TV in my room. What am I going to do? I wrote down stories. I used to.
Yo. Yeah. I read everything. I told you I read the encyclopedia. I read the dictionary.
You remember back in the day when they would come to your door? Oh,
Yeah, we had the
we have
Britannicas.
A through D for sale right now.
Yeah, we had the Britannicas. We have all of ours, the A through Z,
I don't have mine anymore.
1994.
I don't remember what year, but my mom ended up getting them. That and the Bible movies. Remember they used back in the day, which
Yo,
we
you
don't
remember when
have
they
a
used to
lot of
sell
that.
knives at your door? They could have came in and stabbed you to pieces, and we were just sitting there like, no,
Listen.
I don't want that knife.
Like, I just found out what a latchkey kid was. Colette
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what it was. I've been a
Yeah.
latchkey kid since birth.
That's what Lily Bloom was in the book. She was a
Yeah.
latchkey kid. You go home, you have a key, you shut the door, and then I don't know about y'all, but I was told, don't answer the door. If someone knocks on the door, you don't say no answer, no hello back. They're not supposed to know you in the house. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother was like, and I remember asking, because as a kid, you're not thinking why. It's like, well, if somebody knocked, you're supposed to answer the door. I was like, why wouldn't I answer the door? She said, Colette, who live here with you? I was like, you and Daddy and Malicia.
You felt so smart.
Yeah.
You felt so smart.
Like, and she was like, and do we have keys? Yes. So why would we knock on the door? I said, oh, you couldn't tell me my mother wasn't the most intelligent person on the planet. She was schooling me. She's an educator. Bye, babe.
Yeah, Jason Momoa is saying bye to me, y'all.
But yeah. So yeah, that was a latchkey kid. So
yeah, I was one of those. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, these are our conversations, guys. It's great.
If you enjoy them, we'll do some more for you. But yeah.
Ramblings.
The musings of Colette and Elizabeth.